It should be noted at this point that Thanksgiving, as well as other holidays, hold a special meaning for former abuse victims, and a lot of people suffered emotional traumas that left no marks or bruises. I had a few marks and bruises at the very last day that I lived in my house at age 15, but the emotional scars that came, for many reasons, lasted for many years until I resolved my relationship with God. And then I didn't have anything to hold against my abusers anymore because my account had been cleaned. But Thanksgiving has always been an emotional holiday for me because, a negative holiday, because I needed to make sure the stove was not still on. I always wanted to have a family Thanksgiving, but I was never invited. And after I didn't let my mom see my kids as a young father because I wanted them to not have her influence or control, she held it against me and then worked with others to keep my kids away from me. Well, many years later, like 20 years later, my grandpa's about to die in a few months. He'd already had a heart attack, and I got invited for Thanksgiving at my grandpa's house. And I thought that's wonderful since he never talked to me before. He was always grumpy and stoic and just kind of angry. Well, not kind of, angry. And he had a very hard woman to live with, my step-grandma, who was really, really alcoholic and always using God's name in vain. At holidays were ugly growing up. Noisy, alcoholic, fighting all the time. But this would be a good Thanksgiving, and it was a beautiful meal set out. Well, I grabbed a Bible, and I guess it must have been my grandpa's Catholic Bible, or it might have been one that it was probably my Bible. Well, anyway, so I opened it up to a Thanksgiving scripture, probably a psalm, and it says, "Mom, it's Thanksgiving. Can I ask a blessing, for the meal?" And she shuffled me into the next room, and she says, "We don't have room for that here." And she shut my Bible, and it was all hush hush. Don't talk about Jesus, Respect my grandfather who's Catholic, And so anyway, that and then many years later after that, my brother, who was not in my life, his choice, he came back to town after being out of town for 20 years, and he invited everybody but me to Thanksgiving. I didn't know I was uninvited. I just assumed that since he was in town that we could all get together. If there was going to be a get-together, I should be there. I love my brother. And so I called my mom, and I asked her what she's doing for Thanksgiving. Maybe I can come over, "Oh, I'm going over to your brother's house." And I says, well, I want to go. "Oh, well, you have to ask him about that." So I called him, and he says, "Well, I don't want the drama." Okay. So it was the drama between, I can only guess, it was the drama between me and my mom, how I won't shut up about Jesus. Although there's other issues, I don't really have any issues with her now, other than just get her to Jesus. So I just wanted to interject that. Thanks. So I was not invited to that. And also with my sister and mom, I had convinced them to let me come and visit them both a year and a half ago. And they kept putting it off and putting it off, both of them. They live in separate places. Both of them acted in unison, I believe, to just dangle a carrot before my eyes and pretend that I'm invited. And then my sister says, "Well, I got Buddha statues all over the place, and I'm into horoscopes and stuff." And I says, "Well, that's okay. I'll I'll be respectful, but I really miss you and want to see you. Okay, well, maybe when I get back from this vacation or that vacation, but it never happened. She just kept putting, and then my mom kept saying, "Oh well, when my husband Mark gets his heals from his surgery," and then it was, "Well, when I feel better, you can come." And so they both put me off for like a year and a half, and so when holidays roll around, of course, I call them. But I'm not calling my sister no more, and I didn't call my mom on Thanksgiving. I'm not calling them anymore on holidays because I know the end result, and I'm not going to have a repeat of past rotten holidays. So I spent the holiday with my pastor, and it was great. Happy with friends, brothers and sisters, and my real forever family. So I encourage you guys to stay in touch with your folks the best. If you're able to do that safely, let them know that the Lord loves them, that you care about them, you don't hold any grudges, but you don't have to. I mean, do as the Lord leads, but don't be guilted into ruining your own holiday for some sense of obligation that they have guilted you into. Just stay in regular contact, and it's really up to the Lord to save these people.